Codex Imperial Guard, 3rd edition, written by Jervis Johnson and Gavin Thorpe. Page 22.
"Yarrick!"
bellowed the Orc warlord.
"Yarrick, curse his hide!"
Ghazghkull Thraka slumped into his throne, his eyes glowing red from under a furrowed brow. Around him, Gretchen scurried to clear away the debris of objects that he had smashed as he raged about Commissar Yarrick. The throne room fell silent, apart from the noise made by the scurrying Gretchen. Then came a cough. Ghazghkull's eyes moved to the prostrate form of Big Boss Uzbek, who lay cowering on the floor in front of the throne. It was he that had informed Ghazghkull that Yarrick was in the sector that Ghazghkull was preparing to attack.
"What is it, Uzbek, you useless piece of squig dung?"
Ghazghkull snapped. The Orc Big Boss cautiously stood up, dusting himself down as he did so.
"Well, boss, I just wanted to say that this Yarrick, well, he's only some pansy Yumi git, ain't he? He ain't no match for you, boss. I bet you're just playing with him before you get ready to smash him good and proper."
Uzbek's laughter slowly trailed off when he realized that Ghazghkull seemed not in the least bit amused by his attempt at cheering him up. Instead, the Orc warlord had fixed Uzbek with his deep, steely gaze.
"Uzbek," growled Ghazghkull, "has it ever occurred to you that this pansy human duffed over some of our toughest boys at the Battle of Hades' Hive? That Hive would have fallen into my hands if it weren't for him. He trained up the Yumis what defended that place. He organised them. He led them into battle. He never gave up, not ever. Sometimes I think that there's a bit of Orc in him."
Ghazghkull remembered the Armageddon campaign that had made both he and Yarrick famous. Ghazghkull had learnt that Yarrick had been banished to Hades' Hive for opposing his planetary overlord. Yarrick had organized a defense which had halted Ghazghkull in his tracks. More and more of Ghazghkull's troops had been drawn into the battle, and although the Hive had eventually been overrun, the Orc army had been bled dry in the process. It had been the turning point in the campaign, and it had all been down to one man, Commissar Yarrick.
"Yeah, but, boss, he was just lucky, weren't he? You duff him over easy next time, eh, boss? Uzbek, you are truly the stupidest Orc I know, and that's saying something. Yarrick will never be easy to duff up. He ain't lucky. He makes his own luck, just like what I does. He beat me that time at Hades' Hive, and he beat me fair and honest. Or do you think that all a Yumi needs to be is lucky to beat me?" No, boss," Uzbek babbled. That's not what I think. Honest it ain't. Good. 'Cause I'd have to get rid of you if you thought that, now wouldn't I?"
Ghazghkull's eyes blazed red, and Uzbek once more hurled himself to the floor and prostrated himself before the Orc warlord.
"Never forget, Uzbek," he continued, "that a worthy foe has been blessed by Mork and Gork to make us Orcs the best warriors in the galaxy. If someone gives you a tough fight, you hate 'em, but you honoured 'em too. Now, that Yarrick, I hate him more than any Yumi alive, but I honour him in the most too. And with his help, yous boys will be the toughest Orcs in the galaxy. Now get out of my sight, Uzbek, and don't come back until you know exactly where that Yarrick is."
And with that, he started to contemplate how he would defeat his greatest foe, once and for all. You have been listening to Codex Imperial Guard, 3rd edition, by Jervis Johnson and Gavin Thorpe. Page 24. Codex Imperial Guard 3rd edition was written by Jervis Johnson and Gavin Thorpe, and narrated by R.J. Bailey. Thank you to Jervis Johnson and Gav Thorpe for writing the fiction I grew up with. If you've enjoyed this, please leave a review on iTunes or like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, depending how you're listening. This production, like all of Oldex, is entirely unofficial and uncommercial, from an out-of-print publication, is a derivative work with all copyrights owned by Games Workshop, and is a celebration of the hobby and lore I grew up with. If you have suggestions for old Codex fiction for me to narrate on this podcast, you can comment, contact me on Twitter at rjbailey, or email robertjbailey@gmail.com. Links are in the show description.